Hello, everyone. Back again with another share. First of all, I wanted to share today's reading. You guys know I'm reading this book, um, 365 Days with Source by Elliot and Diane Jackson. And today's reading was What Will Happen If and When You Obtain the Truthful Information About Self? You are beautiful and wonderful. Your plans will begin to take their full scope and potential. The weight loss or weight gain or whatever you desire will happen or occur. Um, Whoever that's for out there, I know it's for me. Wherever your belief system is, wherever your understanding is, if you can receive that, that is a good thing, and it will serve you going forward. I wanted to address a reading that I had that was Monday's reading that struck a nerve with me. It was make noise about issues and the like that you don't agree with. Do this for all injustices and it will catch on, we promise. That struck a nerve with me because there are the obvious injustices out there in the world that we could all see, visibly see. We don't have to try and understand. We can see that it's an injustice, like, any kind of abuse with children or even adults, anybody abusing anybody, either mentally, psychologically, physically, sexually. There are obvious injustices socially with different people of different classes or racism. All those are known to us. But what struck a nerve with me is the subtle injustices that are a part of our society that maybe no one really recognizes as an injustice or as an issue, but I do because it personally affects me. Injustices like social norms that are expected of mainly women or just men and women in general, probably children too, just subtle things like negating yourself, not listening to yourself, not following your heart, putting labels on mothers and wives on what a wife and a mother should be. These subtle things that eat away at the core of who we are as spiritual beings, as individual, sovereign, free thinking souls that came here simply to experience and express ourselves the way we see fit. But then we have these subtle underlying norms of society that are accepted but are kind of bullshit that allows the individual soul to be stifled. Like a wife or a mother is supposed to be a certain kind of way, act a certain kind of way, do certain things, or even look a certain kind of way. Like, that is, to me, the most unhealthiest thing you could ever do to a person is to tell them that the way they are naturally is wrong or bad, right? Now, granted, we all have our issues to work out, and we should be working out our issues from childhood, however we grew up, so that we don't pass that on to our children. But that's the point, right? We work out our issues and we become the best version of ourselves, whatever that may be. And that includes your unique way of thinking, your unique way of seeing the world and interacting with the world and, around you, your likes, your dislikes, setting up healthy, proper boundaries about what you will, allow into your personal space and what you won't, who you will allow into your personal space and who you won't. Just following your heart, because spirit, God, divine intelligence, whatever you want to call it, communicates with us through our heart, through our feeling, through what feels safe and right and good to us. And then society might come along and say, well, that's not appropriate to the rules that we've set up for society of how a woman should act, how a mother should act, how a wife should act, or even males have their own, boxed in perspectives and things that they should do that is right, you know. for society to accept you. That's bullshit. I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm gonna get in touch with who I was back then and bring her up to the present. I left her back there. The Karen that was me, authentically me, as far as I understood back then, did not evolve up to this day with me, because I put parts of myself away because I thought it was too whatever, not acceptable for, the church world, society, whatever. No more. I'm going to retrieve her, and I'm going to apologize to her, and I'm going to tell her she's loved and accepted by me, and that's all that counts. And we're going to go forward together. I'm going to find out who I am without all these rules and expectations and labels put on me. And I encourage whoever's listening, if you are so inclined, and if you agree even a little bit with me, to look inside of you and find out what parts of you did you deem unacceptable because the broader society wouldn't accept it. What parts of you did you leave back somewhere in the past and deemed it unacceptable to be with you fully here in the present moment, going forward together as a whole human being, a whole being? That to me is injustice, is when you cannot be your whole self and celebrate that from the heart, doing what you love, following your divine feeling of what feels right to you, that source is communicating straight to your heart through feeling. So this is probably going to be the first of a lot of subtle injustices that I've noticed in my 26 some odd years of being a mother and a wife, and just leaving myself behind. And so I hope that you guys look into that for yourself, because this is the time to be whole, healthy, sovereign, autonomous. It doesn't mean we don't need each other. It just means that when we come together, we're not putting all these sick expectations on other people to solve our problems, to make us joyful and happy. All that is done. You are responsible for you and your happiness, your joy, your peace. And you cannot give to anybody else what you don't first give to yourself. So give to yourself unconditional love, and then out of the overflow of what you already give to yourself, then you can enjoy other people and their unique way of seeing the world, rather than judging them, labeling them, and expecting them to be a certain kind of way, whether it's a girlfriend, wife, mother, son, whatever, so that you can be happy. Those days are done.